Fire. Fire, fire, fire.
Are you ready for a Maxor Delight extravaganza with Crimson Desert? I sure am.
This video has a lot of footage of people smacking into the ground at Mach 10 speed. Crimson Desert is one of the least understood games that I have ever covered on this channel, because either you've never touched it and only vaguely recognize it from this tweet, which
where they beat the shit out of a woman.
extols the virtues of being able to beat women, or you have actually played—
I mean, it's a realistic medieval fantasy. What do you mean? Yeah, you should be able to.
And immediately forgot about the entire thing because playing this game is like falling asleep to the Shrek Forever After DVD menu.
Yo!
So for the majority who don't know,
that.
Crimson Desert is the newest innovation in AI-powered open-world gaming technology, miraculously allowing the player to freely move in any direction without the need for loading screens, all while featuring riveting combat, intense platforming, and meticulous collection of ancient precursor artifacts. Except no, the game I am actually describing is Jak and Daxter.
Jak and Daxter's goated though.
The precursor legacy for the PlayStation.
I had the one for the PlayStation Portable. It was so good.
2, which you can actually run natively on your PC without emulation using this cool software that decompiles your ISO called OpenGold. Except, no again, I am actually playing Jak and Daxter the precursor legacy inside of The Sims 3.
Wait,
for this reason, Crimson Desert is also a very polarizing game. Either you love it, or you think that it is unrepentant slop. Slop, as a term, has gained a great deal of popularity for denoting a type of content that is derivative, mass-produced, made simply to be consumed by the largest number of cattle in the least—
There's several ones, but one of them cannot be used. It can be viewed as derogatory. Friend slop, slop slop, good slop, bad slop, quality slop.
Amount of time, with various low-quality YouTubers even being forced to sell their souls to gamer sups energy drinks for money, selling their viewers various zany types of energy slop at the low price of 40 cents per serving and somehow not changing with inflation. I personally use gamer subs in order to work my 10-hour shifts at the job factory, so I can have the privilege of producing so much shareholder value.
So you can buy GTA for $100 or $120 if you live in, unfortunately, Canada or Australia. Yeah, so you can keep drinking your energy gamer subs.
Click the link below for 10% off my funny flavors, or the free market will be forced to build a data center in your house. Or perhaps that is all commie bullshit. It's not like baiting people with politics on the internet is really easy or anything.
It is very easy. What do you mean, Dorkamus?
To prove the political neutrality and objectivity of my news and fact-orientated YouTube channel, for my next trick, I will misgender a non-binary person while acknowledging that this video was written on stolen land. Though I will have to comment that I am personally against the mass immigration of Paleolese refugees into the sovereign borders of Demonis. Someone once made the mistake of letting Greymanes in, and they have already formed an ethno-state in Hernand, right next to the Goblin one. And while calling this game slop isn't exactly an accurate term, it is a funny one. So that is the one that I'm going to be using now. Try to look at the terrain design for like 3 seconds and tell me with a straight face that the art direction was not done by ChatGPT. Go!
It's BDO. BDO is very they like to have realism. I don't know. I don't think they did. I'm gonna be honest. I think Crimson Desert, Black Desert, the BDO is kind of generic outside of the combat designs and stuff.
Not done by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Goals.
It is generic,
what are my goals when making this video? Make discourse about this video game absolutely impossible to have.
Okay.
Make every analysis and opinion about it completely irrelevant for no reason. Let us agree to never reconcile any opinions that we might be thinking of right now. Features. The main selling point of Crimson Desert is that it has features in it, making it the ideal game for those who love to consume content, like the experience of scrolling YouTube shorts if they were—
I will say Crimson Desert's combat is insanely good because it's based off BDO, and in my personal opinion, BDO has one of the best combats, in MMO or just combat-based systems.
Belongs. It plays
so
like a manhwa reads, and it reads like an Instagram reel about my grandma getting hit by a bazooka. Crimson Desert has robust combat, various bosses, advanced puzzle solving for the next 3 hours or so.
Oh, that's the unfortunate thing about them being BDO developers. If you played BDO in the last 5 years, there are so many fucking annoying puzzles that you literally have to spend hours to do. Yeah, the puzzles are ass. Yes, and that's because I don't know why these Korean developers love these dog shit ass fucking puzzles. I don't know why. They're so annoying. And they're not even like, oh, Alana, you're stupid. It's like, no, they actually unironically don't make intuitive sense.
Building, armor dyeing, Farmville, fishing, liberal use of an Evangelion, and so much more than is actually fun. Why does Game This So Many Inside of It have our things? Well, Crimson Desert is first and foremost a game made by South Koreans, which doesn't really sound like a relevant detail until you first understand that Korean society is a series of cram schools and corporate humiliation.
They love grinding. Korean MMOs. It's not just BDO, any Korean MMO. Fucking Maple Story. Didn't Ragnarok come from Korea too? They love grinding. Like, I love a good grinding sesh, but like, Koreans like love that shit, dude. Yeah, Lost Ark. Yeah, Lineage. Arcage. Arcage is Korean, I think, too, right? Yeah, like, they love it.
Rituals, and sometimes in the middle, you get to play StarCraft. 75% of young people in this nation want to leave it. We are talking about the closest thing that humanity has to an endangered species. This is a nation that is actively looking to occupy itself so that death seems like it is coming a little bit faster. Why is this relevant to our game? Because every single conversation, every menu, every person, and every mechanic in Crimson Desert exists solely to give you a different ethnicity to cleanse from the face of the earth. So the entire notion that I should be paying attention to literally anything that anyone is saying feels like an insult to my intelligence. I know the outcome of this conversation we're having right now. It is the same as the last 30 conversations I've been dragged into, and every single one of them ends with a demand for goblin genocide. And look, okay, I am definitely not saying that this game might have a problematic depiction of goblins or anything. I just think that it's kind of weird that they happen to live as a minority of inherently conniving traders, black marketeers, and profit.
Why are they all gobos? They talk notes from World of Warcraft, huh?
Driven debt collectors with the sole honor of being able to charge white people usury and run all of Hernan's financial.
White people usury? Does Maxor know?
Financial institutions. I'm sure that this has absolutely no relation to any hypothetical stereotypes that may or may not exist in real life. I just think that this game might not be for you if you are Italian. Racism is a core mechanic of this game's narrative. The literal main quest of the game is entirely about a never-ending hereditary blood feud between two slightly different variations of Scandinavian Mayo monkeys. This is a role-playing game where I am forced to roleplay as an...
Yo, did you just say Mayo monkey? You can't say that. It's racist.
Icelandic Josef Mengele, genocidally cleansing the entire face of Baldur because Cliff...
I mean, Maxor's white, right? So he gets the pass. It's okay.
As a licensed therapist, apparently, can only ever respond to Hitler's dialogue with slightly different variations of yes and what happened. To put it simply, questing in this game is an absolute nightmarish slog, predicated by the idea that dialogue in and of itself is either a route to American historical reenactments or a vehicle to a 2-hour puzzle in which you...
I'm telling you, I've played Black Desert Online. I know what Crimson Desert is about, bro.
Slowly and manually move boxes around, hoping in vain that you will swiftly die of old age.
Yeah, and if you do it wrong, then you have to reset the entire fucking puzzle!
I want you to imagine this given scenario. You're playing an open world game and definitely not a spreadsheet with a realistic scan of Delaware on top. So you say to yourself, I would like to see locations and experience new areas outside of my current spatial understanding because I am human. Then you see a castle in the distance and think to yourself, wow, I can't wait to see what adventures await me over there. Only to discover that the castle has no enemies inside of it, no loot you can actually find, and the knowledge that you have now wasted 20 minutes of your narrowing lifespan.
But it's the journey. It's, you don't get it. It's the journey to get to the castle. You get to look at it. Yo, people in Skyrim would have been so happy.
How devious and quirky. Then,
people be complaining on Skyrim you can't walk to a mountain, but when you give them what they want, they're mad.
7 hours of real time later, you just happen to be taking a random quest that you found on a spreadsheet, wherein this desaturated ice dweller has the actual caucasity to inform me of this mysterious and hitherto unknown castle in the distance containing unique enemies and an entire boss fight in it. Because I cannot emphasize it enough, this scenario is every single thing in Crimson Desert.
I mean,
in
look
this
at the
game,
combat.
you
It's
can grab a tree and
crazy.
use it to catapult yourself. You can clean objects with a broom. You can scramble your brains like Sonic the Hedgehog. And you can even go fishing, just like in Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy for the PlayStation 2. But when I decided that I wanted to see this castle, this mountain, this battlefield with 9,000 robotic bees, and this Crimson Desert in the video game called...
Crimson Desert.
I forget the name. I was told to come back later. After I had spoken to a random rock 5 zip codes away and listened to the most boring explanation of anything I have ever seen. This problem gets so much worse than you think it is. It is not just castles. There are entire nations in this game that exist purely in the context of the main quest, and after that are literally never seen or heard from
It's just
ever
a video,
again.
man.
Just like my day, the game does not expect
I
you.
really wish you could do that in BDO. Instead of like having to do the teleport quest with the stupid well, it just catapults you. I think that would probably break people's PC though, because you're probably rendering people's like horses and trade carts and shit. That would be kind of lit.
To actually have a memory about anything at all. Entire mechanics will just show up and then randomly disappear into the void for 30
No,
hours.
I played it.
Did
I
you
played
happen
it.
to like the dialogue mechanics with fucking 10 seconds of
It's
pausing between
fine,
each
I
line?
like it.
Yeah, me neither. So why is it in the game for exactly 2 mandatory quests?
I've asked this so many times while playing Black Desert. Why did you fucking put this in the game, man?
Can we please make that number 0 because it feels like I am having a stroke right now. And not the good kind. Hitherto unknown antagonists who are now suddenly really important to the plot apparently keep appearing and get killed
That
within
is
the
so
span of
cool,
30
man.
minutes, never to be seen or mentioned
Sending you to the cuck chair. I mean, that was really cool, man.
ever again. Everything is
Lightning,
paced
dude.
like it is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure if every single stand user talked in fucking Mad Libs. That is why Crimson Desert is so forgettable, because the actual
Yeah, it's the dialogue, man. Oh, God. That's what irks me the most about, like, BDO and Crimson Desert. Again, I keep likening it, but it's the same fucking developers. They just split the team and they said, okay, go make a single-player game. And I think they did good. I just think, like, they didn't actually innovate on what they suck at. Like, BDO story is so irrelevant and just so stupid. And I don't mean like stupid and like, oh, it's goofy or like silly. Like, you just don't know what the fuck is taught. Like, you're literally just pressing like R or F or whatever the fuck. There's story? No, there's not. But like, there's a lot of story, but there's not a lot of story. Story is gameplay, garbage, but gameplay is good. Well, yeah, I mean, that's Crimson Desert in a nutshell.
game itself is constantly forgetting. The literal second that the player looks away from something or someone, that thing ceases to exist. And believe me, I really tried to get them to exist, okay?
Yeah,
There
I
is
believe
just
them.
nothing here.
Yeah.
But oh my god, Max, there are things in the game.
That's
Haven't you
cool,
seen the
see?
things to do in the world, Max? Haven't you fought these fucking 4 identical copies of the same guy? Haven't you done the quest where you rescue this goblin and he tells you to go fight the 50 simultaneous wolves? Yes, I have, dipshit. And look, if you like things to do, you know, if you're like a 40-year-old dad who just wants to come home and be assigned a task as is their natural inclination, I am not going to yuck someone else's yum, but it's probably because you were not given a soul at birth. Does anything that I do affect the world? No. I fight bosses, I do puzzles, I take a random quest from a guy and watch a mass shooting happen at the circus completely unprompted by anything.
Honestly, it's BDO without the pay to win because it's a single player game, so they can't implement, pay to win. That's kind of like the best summary for it. Again, it's not a bad game. I just think that there's like a certain audience that likes it. Yet? What do you mean yet? The game's popularity is faded. Like, there's only so many people that play it. Don't give them ideas. Guys, they should have done it from the start. Why the fuck would you implement pay to win when the game is already, like, gone past its prime? That would be so fucking stupid. They should have done it from the start. There's not people playing it.
Go back to my camp, I sell the bodies that I looted to build up my Farmville minigame, I go to sleep, and then I do it all over again, and you know what? I like the Farmville minigame. Chapter 2, the Farmville minigame. Please hear me out, okay? Because if this game's world isn't even going to try to motivate me at all, the least it can do is let me motivate me at all. There is genuine progression in the Farmville minigame, and frankly, it's a really good idea because unlike the main quest, I am the one deciding what I do with my camp. I decide what weapons I'm going to upgrade. Maybe I want to chop down a tree so we can have wood. Maybe I send someone to get that wood and use that wood to build a farm. Maybe
that's the one thing that's really nice about BDO and the developers. They are really immersive focused.
I identify an unprotected rival ethnicity in the mountains so that I may purloin.
Crimson Desert ended up failing? No, I made a lot of money. It's just fine.
In that which they no longer need, sell them to my blacksmith and invest the proceedings into a stock index fund. Maybe I want to go mining, but bandits have occupied the quarry, so I have to kill them. My gear isn't good enough, so I need to upgrade by getting a better smith, and that takes money, and oh my god.
So it's just Pal World, but with a man. Yeah.
There is almost a game here. I can choose where to invest my money. I can invest in myself by purchasing 200 rotisserie chickens. And I had to search every single grocery store in the game for this, please laugh. I can invest in the Bank of Naples where I can actually choose my investment strategy on the open market like some...
Yeah, that's another thing. BDO has a very extensive economy as well. So if you like macro economies, it's pretty fun. Like Excel spreadsheeting, but like with an MMO.
Sort of perfidious Dutchman, or invested in the purchase of a new cart and the packaging of unique goods, then looking up where to sell those goods and then traversing the map and then running them back to another post, and it now just dawns on me that I am making a more compelling story than the narrative of any quest in this game, and it's not even close. If you want me to remember a location, do not make me save it. Make it mean something to me. Make the liberation of Palun from the Danish people unlock new territory and resources to exploit. Make exploration uncover new and lucrative trades so I can exploit the differences in wages to build a Labubu factory. Make anything in the story matter to the salt of the earth goblin skinner. And yet, I still have to mine random outcroppings of iron and copper like a Congolese child, even though I have an entire ethno-state at my personal command because this game cannot decide between dialectical materialism or great man theory. One subscribing to the idea that change can only come through a single man's drive for profound and tremendous violence. That if there is a problem, it is because there are bad people in charge, they are bad because they decide to be bad, and all we have to do to solve the issue is
kill them! Yeah, chop their head off!
To kill them. Nothing fundamentally changes except that we have to put the right people in charge, and the right people are always me. While the other one postulates that the advancement of society ultimately comes from collective material advancement and the endless struggle between differing modes of production, eventually culminating in the birth of a bourgeois goblin class.
I still can't get over how everybody kind of collectively agreed to having just gobos being like the heads of money.
And with these two competing philosophies in the same game and indeed focused into a single Napoleonic figure who barely speaks in conversation, leads us to the final synthesis representing all the flaws and contradictions of Crimson Desert itself. Man. This game...
I can't get over the combat animations.
Genuinely and accidentally, love it or hate it, is liberalism. And in conclusion, would be unable to commit to a coherent position on Israel. I hope that...
I didn't say it, he did.
You liked reading my politically charged video essay about the role of autistic non-binary people under capitalism or something, as much as I liked writing it. I basically made up this entire video script, but in reality, no one is actually going to call me out if I lie. Because ultimately, that requires actually remembering a game called Crimson Desert. You know, which is actually pretty similar to a game called Jack and Dax.
What? No, I think this is a good criticism. I do. I think that was completely valid. I totally get where you're coming from. And again, I was a BDO enthusiast, and I really liked BDO for a time, but I see how it's basically like a single-player port. It still has the same shitty problems, no story, combat's amazing, quests are stupid, puzzles fucking suck, goblins are just... They rule everything, they have the banks, and they control the money. And then the merchants. Did you know Wars? Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I do. I think it's a perfectly valid criticism, and yeah, liberalism. Something about Israel. I don't know. Whatever.